Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback cut. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown! Kansas City. One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League.
Move over, guys, because it's about damn time for the Queens to take their seat upon Chiefs Kingdom's throne.
6 consecutive AFC West titles. 7 consecutive years in the playoffs. 4 consecutive home AFC championship games. Join us on this ride to keep these streaks alive.
Chiefs Kingdom's spirit is unyielding. Whether we're down 10 points in a Super Bowl with only 7 minutes left, or 3 points in a playoff game with only 13 seconds to go, our belief in our Chiefs never wavers.
So Patrick Mahomes is the king of Chiefs Kingdom, and long live the king. But it's time for this reign to make way for some queens. We are the Kingdom's Queens.
Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome to the Kingdom's Queens podcast. We are so excited to be here with you guys today. We are sitting pretty at the top of the AFC, not even just the AFC West, but the AFC altogether. So we are so excited right now. What a week it's been, and here we go. I'm your host, Lexi.
I'm Chrissy.
I'm Jody. Hey, y'all. All right, let's get into it. Another exciting week of football in the NFL. So who wants to start off with the highlights? What team?
I'm going to go over the Bills-Vikings game. Wow. So first of all, I want to say I called that upset last week. So pat myself on the back a little bit.
Me too. High five.
Yeah. Woo woo. Bill's Twitter is in shambles right now. So, as enjoyable as that has been for us, I will move on to the actual game. So, there was a new record in the game, at least for this season. Everyone should give Josh Allen a hand. He now leads the NFL in interceptions. So, congratulations, Josh Allen, with your 10 interceptions, and 6 of them have come in the last 3 weeks. Ouch. There was quite a few players of the game for me when I was looking at it. Justin Jefferson, we all know he is him. He had that amazing catch that is floating all over Twitter. He had 194 yards and a touchdown. And that catch, that insane catch he had, came on a 4th and 18. So, and that was what allowed them to get down to the field to keep the game alive. Amazing catch. Like, I can't stop looking at. Probably one of the best catches in NFL history. It was just beautiful. For sure. Yeah. Dalvin Cook had a huge game. He had 146 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown. Singletary ran in 2 touchdowns for the Bills, and Stephon Diggs, we all know he's amazing. He also had a really insane one-handed catch. So no one's talking about it, but it was a really great catch too.
He did, actually. That was a really impressive catch.
It was another one-handed and behind. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
When
it
was nice to see. Terribly.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It was nice to see Gabe Davis take advantage of someone besides the Chiefs. I feel like he's been a Chiefs killer, and he had 93 yards and a touchdown against the Vikings. But there were some definitely some costly mistakes by the Bills and the Vikings. Kirk Cousins had 2 interceptions, and he took sacks at really costly times when he should have just thrown the ball away. And even on their last drive, he took some sacks. I was just like, throw the ball away, throw it away. And he wouldn't throw it away. And then Josh Allen, guys, 2 interceptions in the end zone. Yeah. And he fumbled the ball in the end zone to ice the game. The game would have been over. All he had to do was do a QB sneak.
Yeah.
And that was it. And he fumbled the ball in the end zone. And the Vikings, they recovered it.
I love what you retweeted earlier. I tweeted it yesterday as well.
Which one?
My quarterback would never. He would never try to have Patrick Mahomes shame. Never.
All the receipts.
In the end zone. Oh boy.
So I'm not gonna lie. So I was watching this. Jody and I were at the game, and I was waiting for Jody. She was in the bathroom. I was waiting for her outside Arrowhead or outside.
I had a lot of layers on. I had a lot of layers.
I was just like, I was just like watching Twitter and I was like, and it was during the goal line stand and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was just like freaking out trying to keep up with it on Twitter. But I finally got to rewatch the game and it was just, that game was absolutely insane. And I saw something and Bills fans were like, can we, like, for the games of the year, could we maybe be on like the winning side of one of those for once? Why do we always have to be on the losing
I saw
side?
that too.
I know. I was like,
0-4 in overtime. 0-4 in overtime.
0-4. And
Yeah.
you know what? The Bills have now dropped 2 games in a row. They've dropped from the 1st seed to the 6th seed, and they're now in 3rd place in the AFC East. So they've got a lot of work to do to
I mean, I
back
definitely
up
think
there.
they can still turn it around. It's
for
only
sure.
11, so they are a really good team. They just
They
really need to get it together because these last 2 weeks have been a little And I know we're going to talk about our game predictions later on in the show. So I'll say my thoughts there, but they definitely have time to turn it around. They just really need to have a kumbaya moment in 5 seconds.
Josh Allen is forcing a lot of throws. He's kind of reverted back to not Josh Allen from last year, but the Josh Allen from the year before.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt he can get back to what the Josh Allen that he was last year.
I mean, so do you think he's hurt?
I mean, that's the thing, though. He didn't look hurt at all out there today.
Right.
He looked totally fine. So
he wasn't playing hurt, but
no,
maybe
He
that
had
goes.
some really good passes.
Yeah, his arm looked totally fine. He did not look like someone who had been, oh my gosh, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Yeah. I almost wonder how much of that was a smoke screen.
Oh, it for sure was to keep the bets going. Like, it was all for the money line. You could tell that. So,
Yeah. So, crazy game, though. It was fun. I liked the outcome. So,
yeah. I mean, I think the Bills, like, we'd be silly to count them out at this point because look at the Chiefs last season. We went like 3-4 at the beginning of the season. And everyone was like, oh, the Chiefs are broken. Mahomes is broken. And I think right now, Josh Allen has to figure out how to adjust to the way defenses are playing him right now.
Well, they're declining. Like, we got better, right?
But we did get better. So
it seems like they're kind of reverting the other direction. So I'm with you, man. I hope they get it together because what in the world is happening in Buffalo with their 31 inches of snow that they're getting this weekend?
Right.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine playing in that game? Like,
no, that's going to be a wild game. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the Chiefs. I just want to talk about the Chiefs, to be honest with you. I'm going to talk about a little bit about the Chargers and 49ers game. It was Sunday Night Football. And it actually was a really competitive game, which I'm not surprised about because Chargers are a great team and the 49ers are a great team right now. And both have had their share of injuries this season. So that's a bit unfortunate. But 49ers got a ton of players back for this game. They had Deebo Samuel back. They had Elijah Mitchell back. And then they added Christian McCaffrey a few weeks ago. And their running back room, when they're in sync, is pretty much unstoppable. Like, and I know the Chargers don't have the greatest defense against the run, but watching those three do their thing, and I know Deebo Samuel's not even technically a running back, but like the way they utilize him, he kind of is, he's kind of like a hybrid. A hybrid, exactly. Yeah, a jinx. A hybrid between those two. So the Chargers started out really, really strong. They started out with like a power drive to start off the game. Gerald Everett for them is a really big playmaker.
While he got hurt, didn't he?
No, I think that's okay.
I don't think he did.
Did he get hurt during that game?
Thought I read he got hurt because he's my tight end in fantasy because my other tight end went on IR.
Oh, my tight end went out today. Love that so much for me.
Oh.
I don't know that Everett went out unless it was like maybe after the game or something like that. He might have, but either way, and we always talk about this and we'll discuss it later, but everyone figures out a way to be healthy for the Chiefs. So we're already discussing Keenan Allen, Mike Williams being back for the Chargers. So, but that's fine. Bring on the competition. I'm good with that. But Chargers special teams actually looked really good too, which I'm impressed with. They have Dicker the kicker, who is making every single point he needs to make, and he's been pretty impressive. And then, something I did want to touch on was towards the end of the first half, there was a huge hit on Justin Herbert, and that was by the 49ers player Greenlaw. And it was kind of like a shoulder to helmet to helmet kind of hit where Justin Herbert had to go out and be evaluated. And I think a little frustration comes in for me because, a lot of us Chiefs fans saw Marquez Valdez-Scantling tweet during the game like, okay, Juju and I got the same hit earlier from Cisco during the Jags game, and there was not even a call on him. Nonetheless, an ejection immediately from the game.
Yeah.
And
there was a call. It was just on MVS. And then there was a flag
on MVS. Exactly.
And then they took it away.
Yeah.
They called it.
Call on Juju, they picked up the flag like immediately.
Yeah.
So I'm a little weirded out by that, but maybe that referee crew for the Chargers-Niners game, maybe they got a little wake-up call because they were like, okay, we saw that happen earlier and there wasn't a call, so we need to eject this guy immediately. So I don't know. It was an interesting game, though. It was competitive. Both of their run games are really good, the Niners and the Chargers. The Chargers have dealt with their plethora of injuries throughout the season completely. So I think I'm not surprised that the Niners won. I thought they were going to win, and I think we all did, but I thought they would win by a little more than they did. But I thought it was a good competitive game, and both teams looked pretty solid. I just think Chargers, I don't know what to make of them completely with them being so unhealthy and so many of their players injured. It's like every single game, one of their major players goes down with an injury, which is just crazy. So
yeah, didn't they also just lose a defensive tackle to like a torn pec or something?
Yeah.
You guys.
It's every single game. So
yeah, it really is.
I don't know what to fully make of that, but Niners did pull out the win. Jimmy G had a few turnovers. Each team had a few turnovers. Justin Herbert had a game-sealing interception in the final minute of the game, and he seems to be fond of that because he did that with us as well in week 2. So, but yeah.
All right, I'm going to talk about Monday Night Football, Eagles Commanders, which another division games are weird.
Yeah,
that's literally how I'm going to start.
They are.
They're weird, and I'm also going to start our segment the same exact way. Division games are weird. So Eagles 8-0 going into this game at home. Monday Night Football. They take an L. I love to see it.
Yeah.
But I think it's time. I'm glad that there's no more undefeated teams in the NFL. But I mean, Heineke, okay. Jalen Hurts is that guy, right? He's that guy, so I don't want to take anything from him. You could tell he was definitely off his game yesterday. I mean, he had going into 8 games only 3 interception turnovers, period, and had 3 solely yesterday alone. So, that's interesting to see. Heineke. There's a quarterback controversy.
There is.
And the thing is I know everyone is saying, just from the things that I've heard today on social media, everyone is saying how the team just plays so much better and clicks so much better with him. So, I'm interested to see how these next few weeks, like if the redhead comes back, and if he comes back, if he plays, like what that's going to be about. But I mean, just to get a little bit into the game, Devonta Smith, yesterday was his birthday. He had 1 touchdown. I did not look up the yards because I really didn't care. I really just wanted to talk a whole lot about the Commanders today because they were balling. Their defense, that second half, they came out, they turned up. Antonio Gibson is a dog. The one thing the Commanders did so well is they unlocked the playbook on what you got to do to beat the Eagles. They literally ran the clock all the way down. Like the time of possession as you were watching that game, it was crazy. And I think that is great. I mean, I think that kind of shows teams around the league, like, you got to really believe in your running backs, and you really got to do what you can to run that clock down. Like, you can't give up on them. And I really hope we can adopt some of that culture, because it was great to see. Scary Terry, holy moly. Scary Terry. He went crazy yesterday during that game as well. He had a huge catch that pretty much like sealed the game as well. So
I played against him in fantasy. It was great.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it caused me to lose my game by 2 points.
I also want to say that the Commanders' social media team is hilarious. So, like, immediately following the game, all of the stuff that they were posting about that win and that team it was great. It was great.
They're finally happy for some positivity.
I know. I mean, and I don't really know that much about the NFC East, but apparently they always beat.
Did you guys see at the end of the game when Ron Rivera gave his speech? I guess he lost his mom pretty recently.
Yeah, so did Troy Aikman. He lost his mom this past week as well.
Yeah, I just thought it was so sweet how he gave her a shout out in their post game locker room meet, and you know he could barely keep it together, but he was like, "My mom would be so proud." I just thought that was so sweet.
Yeah, I was trying to
stop it, Lexi.
Right, I was going in and out of sleep because I was sleep deprived traveling back from Kansas City, but I did hear that, and then I also heard the shout out that they gave to Troy Aikman for well. So I was just like, man, and y'all know I'm sensitive to moms, but we won't get into that today.
Right.
I also want to say the MVP of the game was the kicker, Joey Sly. He kicked a 55 and a 58, made them both. And I think that goes back to what we've been saying week after week on how kickers are important. So, yeah.
You hear that, Butker? They're so important.
They're so important. But the final score of that game was 32-21, Commanders winning. All day on social media. I don't know if y'all have been paying attention, but they have a little song in Washington. It's a terrible song. But all day they've been like, left hand up. It's terrible. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But I was hyped for them. So shout out to the Commanders for beating the Eagles. That division is a hot mess. I don't know what's happening in it. I'm sure they don't know what's happening either. But that's all I got. So we can move right on along. This past week in Chiefs football was amazing. It was cold. At that game, y'all, at 7 a.m., it was 18 degrees. So you can imagine the amount of layers that me and Chrissy had on. It was everything that you could think of that was a warmer. We had it on our bodies. Hands, arms, feet, legs, like everywhere. Yes, we had it all over, right? Everywhere. So what are y'all thoughts? I mean, Lexi already said it, right? We're the number one in the AFC, which it feels good to be sitting at the very, very top of a very beautiful hill. Feels good to be sitting there. So what are y'all thoughts about Chiefs Jags?
Well, I know before I want to get into the game, I know all of us just want to extend our thoughts and prayers to Juju. I know everyone has had their thoughts on that incredibly controversial hit. But I think we can all agree we never want to see a player hurt like that in the NFL. That's why these rules are put into place to eliminate things like that. So I'm glad he seems to be doing better, and we look forward to seeing him back on the field once he's healthy. And I know the Chiefs training staff will do the right thing, and they won't rush him back. They'll let him heal. They're very, very good about that. So thoughts and prayers to Juju.
Best in the league. Best in the league.
Best in the league. So first thing I want to highlight, no penalties this week on our Chiefs, because hot dang, y'all, that is the first time since at least 2009 that we have had a 0 penalty game.
Yes.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah.
Amazing.
So coming off of our 10 penalties last week and our 9 8 or whatever it was.
Just a shout out. I think it was it Shannon Sharp last week that called us out for being undisciplined?
Yeah.
Whatever, here we go.
Whatever, Shannon.
We hear you loud and clear. Believe me.
Yeah. So another thing I thought was interesting, and we can discuss it a little bit. So we all know Pacheco was named the starter, 1 or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
he took, I think it was 73% of the snaps.
Yeah.
And Clyde only took 6% of the snaps. And guys, he didn't have a single rushing attempt.
And he got benched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had one ball thrown to him. And it's like he didn't turn around in time or what. I know I was throwing a fit in the stadium. I was like, "Come on, Clyde! I was turn around and catch the ball." I was not happy.
I think the Chiefs are making it loud and clear that Pacheco is going to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. We have it's week 11 now, right? So through 10 weeks, we gave CEH the opportunity to turn it up, and he did those first 3 games. Those first 3 or 4 games, he did.
Yep.
But I think the most important thing is for this team to be the Super Bowl team that we want to be, you have to be able to be consistent. And
you have to run the ball.
Yeah. He's not showing consistency.
That's what's frustrating me a little bit with Clyde is like those first few games, like you said, Jody, he was doing so well. Like it really looked like we were seeing a different Clyde.
Yeah.
And I don't know what kind of fell off, but I know like Jerick McKinnon, he's so good at his role.
Give him the ball.
We'll get into that too, but like
he had like 57 receiving yards, guys. Yeah. Like he had a big game. He's become almost like a pass catcher, pass blocker, all of the above. He's like, crucial.
He and Pacheco are just outdoing him a little bit. And I feel bad for Clyde because I do want to see Clyde do well. Obviously, I want to see
like a nice guy. That's the thing. He's like a good guy, a good teammate. But
CEH will probably do good on another team that probably fits his style of running better. So I don't think there's anything wrong with. I said this yesterday in a Twitter space, in a Chiefs Twitter space. I said, this is the year of rebuilding, right? This is the year of bringing in all these guys and letting everybody have all this opportunity and figuring out who truly can fit our scheme and identify what their role is. And I think what we've been seeing week after week, you always see every week that some player is just stand out, lights out, right? And you can see like the consistency through the people who Pat has been truly focusing on. So I think it's okay to start learning to weed out those people. I think Mikola's on that same track too as CEH. I will say I think Andy Reid and them do a good job of trying to show like what their skills are. So other teams, it's like their tape pretty much for like their interview for another team. But I think it's okay. And if we move on, it's fine. Like we're deep in both rooms. So, a lot of teams can't say that. They're not blessed to say that they're deep in so many rooms. So
And something that I thought was really cool, speaking of our running game still, when Pacheco fumbled that ball, and the next time our offense was out there, Andy Reid, as he always does, he gives the ball immediately back to Pacheco. And I honestly think that might have been one of the best things to happen to Pacheco because he always runs hard, but there was a change in him. After that fumble, he came out and he was running for his life.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get so excited watching him run. And even Mahomes was saying it is you have to have a successful running game because it causes the defense to respect that running game. So it opens up plays down the field.
Absolutely.
And our Chiefs, I've been saying it all season. You guys have heard me. When Pacheco gets the ball and when he is running, he is averaging like 5+ yards per carry. And our offense shines because it opens up everything. Yeah. So like, I love that Pacheco is becoming that guy for us and that McKinnon is playing that role. I think they're a really good 1-2 punch for us. And like you guys said, I think Clyde, I don't think he's a bad running back by any means. I just don't think that our scheme utilizes what he is strong at. I think he needs maybe a different scheme to be more successful.
100%. And second and 5, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 1, that opens up a whole different playbook.
Yeah. Instead of like 2nd and 8.
It's okay to make that first run and you go for 5, 6, or 7. That gives you so many other opportunities to go after that first down or to go down the field if you would like on that 2nd and 3 or that 2nd and 5. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel you on that. I want to give some love to this defense because
Yes.
I think last week we were all like, okay, first half was real scary. Second half, they came out lights out. Love that. And then this week, it's like they literally picked up right where they left off. Like, I literally think we could probably name every single person. So I'm going to Chris Jones, Dunlap, McDuffie,
Karlaftis,
Willie Gay,
Jalen Watson,
Leo Chenal.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, literally every single one of those players had an impact.
That's the thing is every single one stepped up into what they were supposed to do. Juan Thornhill, Justin Reed, they all did exactly what they were supposed to do. I know we allowed 17 points, but really, I think Trevor Lawrence and team, I think they're going to be something in these next few years. I think if they keep Doug Peterson as their coach, I think they have a chance. They've been in, I know they have more losses than wins for sure, but if you've watched like actual Jags games, they're like in every single game.
Yeah.
And I think
didn't we say last week that like every game they've lost has been within one score?
Yeah, it's been like within 5 points.
It has. It's been within one score, and we actually kept them in without ones. We kept them in within. I can't talk right now.
It was 27 to 10
points.
Before though. Like that game was never close for us.
No, at all. Yeah.
Like we knew we were going to win that game, but I just think our whole entire defense as a unit stepped up, and I think that's big credit to Spags right there. I think our running game as well. Like, I mean, Andy Reid admitted it big time last week against the Titans. We just completely abandoned the run game. Like, we didn't even give it a second chance, hardly ever in the second half. And I mean, if we would have just given Isaiah Pacheco a few more chances last week, like, I think that would have been a major impact. But
yeah,
and that's happened.
I'm not the play caller. We're not play callers, so we don't.
I'm just here for vibes, honestly.
But
I mean, and Chris Jones finally is at 7 sacks, right? He had 1.5 this game.
Yeah.
And it's just really good to see that every single week he's turning it up and he's really motivating people around him.
But all of them, like Nick Bolton, Willie Gay, like they're all just. And then I was so excited to see Leo Chenal step up this week.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a ton from him yet, like fully. But this week, especially, he just.
I mean, they
held a few certain impact plays. Like he tackled Trevor Lawrence a few times. Or 2 times maybe. But like he was just there. Everyone was just right there where they should have been. Yep. Snead allowed a few touchdowns, but even him, he was right there. And those were just great contested catches that their receivers made. So
and guys, Karlaftis
have a tough game. Like you don't see Snead play like that every game. You know what I mean? So that's watching him.
No, Snead is he's so solid. Like, yeah,
I'm like it happens to the best.
5 passes batted down, which is amazing. He's got 5 passes batted down. No one else in the NFL has more than that. So.
Okay,
don't steal my thunder, Chrissy. I'm getting there.
I mean, he's in only 45 yards, so it's like, come on now, like you can't. That guy is so impressive for the Jags. So to be able to hold him to that, it's like. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, so, I agree. Like ETN he's been one of the star running backs this season. So for us to like just hold him to half the yards that Isaiah Pacheco had is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I think our defense also turned it up after that Juju hit. So you kind of mentioned something about that, but to be in the stadium when it happened, oh my goodness. And I know the people listening on the podcast who were at the stadium, they would say the same thing. Like, I sit in the 300s because, whatever. But it felt like you could hear the hit. You could hear the hit with Juju, right? And immediately the stadium was booing as loud as they could.
We had some chants going on.
You heard BS chants. Like, the stadium was pissed. And I think that also fueled the defense and the offense because they were already upset. And I mean, we've already heard like what they said after the presser, but I think that fueled them both because it's like, okay, y'all came for our brother. This is something that is serious. Let's see what we don't know how long Juju's going to be out. We still haven't heard anything yet. You know what I mean? Thank God he's doing well, but we don't have an update on how his concussion protocol is going as of right now. So I definitely think that fueled this team as well, and it really unified their brotherhood. It was really good to see.
Did you guys listen to Patrick Mahomes' post-game presser? He was speaking on it a little bit, and he was like, you know, we are brothers foremost. You know, first and foremost, they're brothers, and
he said they do something with each other every single night. Like this team
every single night. They're together every day. They're together every night. They're playing Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, whatever it is. You know, and Kelsey and MVS both helped Juju once he was coming off the field.
That was tough to see.
I mean, it's so tough.
It was tough.
It's so tough to see anyone go down that way. I mean, I know Chris Lamons. I hear everyone pronounce it differently. I'm not sure. But he went down as well with a concussion.
Yeah.
I think seeing our guys rally together around these other guys that are, it's just huge. Like this team, I know we've said it multiple times throughout the season, they are so special. Their brotherhood right now, the way they're bonding, the way they all just care for each other so much. It's such a beautiful thing to see. That might sound cheesy, but it really is. Like, it's such a beautiful
It's so true, though, because, like, we all watched our Super Bowl team, and we all knew that team was special, too. But there's just something so
different.
Something different, but so special. Like, the chemistry, because all of these guys are new. This is supposed to be a rebuilding year for us, guys. Like, we have changed our whole defense, our whole offense. Like, this is a whole new team, and we are still atop the AFC, but I think it's because all of these guys have bought into what all the leaders on the team were preaching and the coaches on the team were preaching. And they will go to war for each other. And that's just something that you can't teach. That's something that has to be felt within the locker room. And it's just like, I don't know. It's so incredible to be watching it and feeling that chemistry on the field, especially when this team is just so new to each other. It's so incredibly special.
Next man up is a real thing.
Yeah,
we definitely proved it this week.
These guys, they're really putting their bodies on the line for our entertainment every single week. You know,
let's talk a little bit about the offense because we talked a lot of good defense, but we haven't talked about Kadarius Toney.
Oh yeah,
he's my player of the game, so you know.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get there in a second. We'll get there in a second.
Well, we can kind of touch on MVS and Jerick McKinnon right now.
I literally am like, who had the better catch between MVS and Toney? I mean, MVS's catch was insane.
MVS
was one hand.
Yeah.
That was insane. But Kadarius Toney, like adjusting his body, fixing his glove, and still catching it and going down at the one. What? It was great.
And he's been here for 2 weeks.
One and a half. One and a half
weeks.
1.5 games.
That's right.
I want everybody to know he's only played 1.5 games with the Chiefs, and he had
5
practices.
1
touchdown.
5 practices is it.
Insane. With the Giants for 12 games, I had 0 touchdowns. Like, hello. So if that doesn't make you excited about what he is going to bring to this team once he truly understands the scheme, it's like he already has a great connection with Pat, and they've known each other for 7 minutes.
Well, you know what I've heard? So what I've heard is, well, he came from Kafka's offense, and Kafka just came from us, so I think he probably had a leg up there.
Yeah.
But also, I've heard that as soon as he got here, he was in Mahomes' pocket from the second he got here.
I mean, you can tell by the meme that's floating around, it's his favorite player.
I know, it's his favorite player. So, like, I think he came here and he knew this was his shot. His attitude, the way I've seen him on the field, around his teammates, being there, throwing awesome blocks. Like, guys, he's
a dog.
It's a real deal. And I think he found his home. I think this is where he was always meant to be. And he knows that this is a huge opportunity for him, and he is not wasting it. Yeah. But I love it.
I think it's important to talk about Pat too, right? Like there was a stat that came out yesterday or today, I can't remember, but it says that Pat's leading the NFL right now with most reception touchdowns to a player. Probably said that wrong.
He has 10 different players that have caught touchdowns from him.
Yeah.
Already this season, and it's week 10. So
if
it's
you guys,
like,
if you guys want to hear the list, I have it for you.
Yeah.
He has, let's see here. He's thrown a touchdown to Travis Kelce, McCole Hardman, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Juju Smith-Schuster, Justin Watson, Jody Fortson, Jerick McKinnon, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Kadarius Toney, and Noah Gray. 10 different players. That's the most in the NFL right now.
well, and I also want to make it a point too, right? So everyone last year, this year, NFL tried to change the dynamic of their teams to have that speedy receiver, the guy who's going to catch the ball down the field, run a 4-4, run a 4-3, run a 4-2, right? And we were like, oh, that's cute. That was fun. Now it's how many people can we throw the ball to?
Yeah.
So you're going to see people adjusting next year too, because I think we all said it 1,000 times before the season even started. We have so many weapons. You don't know where the ball is going. We don't know who our number one receiver is. We don't know who our number one running back is. We don't know these things for this reason, because everybody is getting the ball. Everybody is touching the ball and averaging 50 plus yards a game, like everybody. So it'll be nice to see how everybody adjusts next year on, oh, well, maybe it is important to have more weapons.
Yeah. I think I'm really excited about Noah Gray as well, because I think he's really, I mean, to have Travis Kelce as your mentor,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I was thinking that today. I was like, oh my gosh, we're so lucky. Like,
right.
And I know Mahomes is building that trust in him. Like last week he was saying like, okay, yeah, I saw Noah Gray make that big time catch when it mattered. And I think now they want to get him more involved. That's another big body guy. Like you said, Juju is nearly the size of a tight end. And it's so unfortunate that he had to go down this week, but I know he's going to be back and continue being a playmaker. We just have so many exciting guys in our offense, and it's it's almost unfair to the rest of the NFL. I'm sorry.
I don't care. And I don't care. Patrick Mahomes makes everybody look good. It could be a bum off the street, and he's going to make him look like a baller.
The thing is like all of us knew this the entire off season.
Yes, thank you.
We didn't have
the proof,
video proof. We didn't have game proof, so we couldn't like say for sure. But like all of us knew this was going to be the case, and we were like, this is going to be a thing where we say Mahomes has too many weapons, but.
Yeah. Oh well.
We couldn't confirm. But now we can confirm, and So, like you said, he can make almost anyone look good. So it's awesome.
So because there was so many great things that happened this week, who would you say your player of the game was?
I want to give a quick shout to Jerick McKinnon, because I know he's none of our player of the games, but he had some really great blocks this week.
Yeah.
Some really fantastic blocks, some really big plays. So I just want to give a quick shout to him as well, because he's awesome.
Who's your player of the game?
Well, mine was Kadarius Toney, but we talked about him quite a bit. But let me just give you a stat line, just so we can really just shove it in your faces how much I'm in love with him. So he had 57 receiving yards and a touchdown, and then he also had 2 rushes for 33 yards. So the Chiefs were without McCole Hardman due to his abdominal injury or whatever's his soreness, whatever's going on in there. And then Juju obviously went out early. So he really had to step up, and he was throwing blocks. He was making big time plays. Like we talked about the catch and his hopping into the end zone, trying not to go out of bounds.
Such a troll.
I love it. I don't know how much of it was trolling versus staying in bounds, but I think it was a little bit of both. I'm not going to lie. And I'm here for it. So, but yeah, he was definitely my player of the game.
Sweet.
I think Kadarius Toney too. Like, I just want to add on to it real quick. He has a skill set that I don't think we've seen in a long time from any wide receiver. Like, he's bringing such a unique thing that he's like just plowing through defenders. He's learning our insane offense in 2 games.
The way he moves reminds me of Dante Hall. Like he's like a human joystick.
Absolutely.
Like, and it's so cool. It's so fun to watch, because Dante Hall was so incredibly fun to watch. And now it's kind of like he's not built like Dante Hall or anything like that, but the way he moves reminds me so much of how Dante could just like make people miss with these insane movements he would make. So yeah, he's so fun to watch. He's electric.
He is one of those players I'm just so looking forward to watching every single week.
Yeah.
My player of the game is going to be Carlos Dunlap, actually. I am so stoked for him. He officially completed 100 sacks in the NFL, and he completed that on our team. And I know he's so excited to have completed that on our team. So it's awesome. He is there on every single play, and I want to see him get more and more starting snaps. I know towards the beginning of the season, he wasn't getting as many starts. I think.
Do you think that was due to his Achilles, though?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think there was a bit of an injury, right? So
Yeah.
I think definitely, but I think he's kind of finding that like younger self in himself again.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really showing that, and he's just exciting to watch as well. So
He looks rejuvenated for sure.
Yeah.
he has 100 sacks. I think as well, like we added Melvin Ingram last season, right? And through 9 games, I tweeted this earlier, but through 9 games, Carlos Dunlap and Melvin Ingram total played 9 games with us, right? Because we added him mid-season. Carlos Dunlap has right now played total of 9 games. And through those, Carlos has had 4 sacks for us. He's had 23 total tackles. He's just awesome. I just really am enjoying him. I'm really enjoying to see what he brings to our defense, and I can't wait to see what else he does. But I think this game, he had some really, really impactful plays against the Jaguars, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to what else he can do for us. So
For sure.
Carlos Dunlap is definitely mine.
My player of the game is Chris Jones. Again, I said it a little bit earlier. He had 1.5 sacks. He's finally at 7 for this game. He had 2 QB hits, which was great. And yeah, I don't know what is going on with Chris Jones and that little brain of his, but I cannot wait to see how the rest of this season goes and pay that man. So, who's your rookie of the game?
Definitely my rookie of the game was Pacheco. We talked about it earlier in the podcast, so I won't go over everything, but he's just, he posted 82 yards and 16 carries at a 5.1 yards per carry.
Yeah.
And I will say, coming into this season, Pacheco did say he was coming in to take a grown man's job. And you know what?
Really?
He may just have done that.
It looks like it happened.
Yeah.
And he had like 82 yards, right?
Yeah, 82 yards.
That's awesome.
Yep, 16 carries for 82 yards.
He'll get 100 yards soon. It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's due.
Yeah.
Yep.
My rookie of the game is actually George Karlaftis, Mr. Greek Freak.
Curious George.
Right.
He's had the 5. Okay, so out of the whole entire NFL, he's had 5 batted passes, which is the highest of any player in the NFL right now. He's kind of like our own Micah Parsons this season. He's not quite to that level yet, but he's getting there. He needs to improve his sacks a little bit, but other than that, he's having a lot of impactful tackles, and he's having a lot of impactful plays on the game. He has the 4 quarterback pressures yesterday, and 28 overall, which he's tied for in the NFL as well, with Aiden Hutchinson for rookies. So
I just feel like our defense is so close. Like
Aiden Hutchinson was the 2nd overall pick, and George was like towards the end of the 1st. And so I'm just really proud of how he's doing right now. I know he needs to work on like the full sacking a little bit, but the pressures and the batted balls, he is getting there. And for anyone to say George is making an impact on our defense, like please.
Sacks are not everything. Sacks are the only stat that tells the story. And I just love that George Karlaftis look at all the veterans he has on that defense to learn from right now. Like he's got Chris Jones, Carlos Dunlap, Frank Clark, Colin Saunders. Like he's got all
and
these.
You can tell he just looks up to them so much.
Yes.
Like he's like a sponge. He's absorbing everything he can from all of them, and I love to see it. So I'm really proud of him.
Awesome. My rookie of the game is Trent McDuffie. Wow. Guy's a stud. He's a stud, a freaking stud. I want to say, like, I think a few of us have said this. These are like the best corners we've had in a really long time.
And they're rookies.
We're so happy for these corners. They know how to turn their head. They know how to play clean. They know how to go after the ball and not attack the person and get a penalty. It's so great to see. And I mean, so what? He has 50 coverage snaps, only 8 targets, 7 receptions for 59 yards. He had a huge pass breakup that everybody kind of lost their mind over at Arrowhead because it really showed why we picked him up. So excited for Trent. He's just already, you got a crush on him, Jody. Hello, Kingdom Cast.
Our friends over at Kingdom Cast.
Leave me alone, Kingdom Cast. But yeah, no, I'm excited for him. And I think it's really funny that we all went defense for our rookies and our players. So love that. So we got a division game this week. Chiefs Chargers. This is the second game of the season against them. A lot of big things can happen this week. Win this game, pretty much about to clinch the division. We're already 2 games ahead of the Chargers. Winning this will put us 3 games ahead, hair flip. So yeah, we got flexed. I think it's important to remember that this is a flexed game, guys. So we are now Sunday Night Football in LA. Do not forget that fun fact. So yeah, what are your thoughts going into another division game? And again, division games are weird.
Yeah, division games are crazy. We all know that. There's really you can't look at records. You can't look at what they did last time. It's you see these people twice a year, every single year. And so they know you better than everybody else knows you.
They're
so,
like your distant cousin. They don't go away.
So we already talked about how Chargers are at least Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are at least back to practice this week.
Yes.
Who knows if they'll play, but they're kind of playing for their season this game, which is crazy to think about. So, they may try to come back for this game, even if maybe they're not fully ready. So we'll see. But if they get them back, it obviously will be helpful because the Chargers have been relying on Justin. Is it Justin Palmer? Palmer, whatever. To get them on offense, and he's been doing fine.
Something Palmer.
Yeah.
Well, everybody gets healthy against the Chiefs. Everybody gets healthy against the Chiefs.
Yes,
Everybody
exactly.
does. We've talked about it all season.
Yeah.
Everyone always gets healthy. So I want to see our D-line keep getting pressure because Frank Clark will be back too, and he'll be rested, which is really nice. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing our defense, and I want them to continue their trend. They're playing lights out. I want to see that because if our defense can play lights out, no one's going to stop us. And honestly, the Chargers are averaging 19.5 points over their last 4 games. And their last 4 games were the Broncos, Seahawks, Falcons, and 49ers.
It's also Joshua Palmer. I just looked it up.
Joshua Palmer. Okay, thank you. I was like, I think it's a J. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's on my fantasy team. I should know. I feel bad, but not really.
I don't even know who's on my fantasy roster. I didn't do my lineup this week because it was awful. So
It was awful.
I gave it.
But there's like I said, the Chargers are averaging 19.5 points their last 4 games. Herbert last game threw for 21 for 35 for only 196 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. So I'm not saying that those won't move up if he gets Keenan Allen or Mike Williams back. Mike Williams being back that quickly after a high ankle sprain is kind of shocking, but
but we didn't have Trent Duffy that game.
That's true. But I definitely think we should win this game. I know we may be without Juju. We may be without McCole Hardman still.
I'm actually okay if Juju sits this game. I would rather him be back for the following game. Not saying
I think
I'm
the
not
next
taking
game
the
we'll be fine.
Right. Not saying I'm not taking the Chargers seriously because it's a division game and division games are always wonky,
Never makes sense.
Right? But if Juju needs rest at week 11, I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine. If he needs to take 2 weeks, I'm okay with that. I'd rather him be healthy the back half of the year.
I'd say right now the Chargers have our number over the Raiders and the Broncos. So they're our biggest worry, I guess, in the division.
Even though it's supposed to be the Broncos, weird.
But like you said, everyone gets healthy for us. Everyone makes sure they're healthy to play the Chiefs. But then Keenan Allen hasn't been in since week 1. Are him and Justin going to be completely flowing? I'm not sure. So it should definitely be interesting. But I expect most of their players to find a way to be, if they can be, to be healthy for this game. because they need to be. They need to be.
Everybody always, somebody put it in the comments, Kingdom Cast, and we say this all the time too. We're everybody's Super Bowl. Like people are, oh my God, I feel so much better all of a sudden. And I'm going to go out here and play real hard under the lights, right? It's, like everybody is always, I mean, the Titans, right? They brought everybody back for us. Next week, half their teams out.
Yeah.
Like, where in the world? Like, where in the world? So
49ers did the same thing. They had most of their people come back, and then they were out all the next week. So.
Yes. So, I mean, I definitely think this is going to be a really interesting game. I definitely think there's a ton of Chiefs fans traveling to LA. There's a lot of
Arrowhead West.
Right. There's a lot of Chiefs fans who live in LA who are all going and they're all excited too. So, I mean, we'll just see what it looks like. Justin Herbert, I do think he's going to have another great game because he's a really good quarterback. I don't think he's going to run the ball as much as he did the first time, just based off of that injury that's still pending. But I definitely think he's going to try to be lights out. With that being said, I do think he's going to throw at least 2 picks as well because he's not going to be able to get out the pocket as often as he usually does.
What's exciting too is this is our first official game where everybody on our defense is fully healthy.
Yeah, weird. Love it.
So that's super exciting. And then
I got it all around me.
But most of our offense is healthy too. And I think just to briefly mention Andrew Wiley going out, we had Prince.
I don't know how to say his last name.
Tagovailoa? I don't know for sure how to say it.
Real close.
We'll call him PTW. PTW filled in for Andrew Wiley at right tackle, and he did a fantastic job. So if Andrew Wiley doesn't play again this week and PTW does better,
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. In the stadium, I didn't even know that happened. They didn't announce anything that I heard, and then I got home and I was like, "Wait, what?" Or right?
Yeah, right.
And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even notice." So
right afterwards, I'm like,
"Great surprise!
What happened?"
Oh yeah, I had no idea he got hurt. So
yeah.
But Bosa's out, right?
He was last week, so we'll see.
He'll find a way.
He'll find a way.
JC Jackson is still out, right?
He is definitely
out.
As
of right now.
So
he's on IR, isn't he? JC Jackson, he's done. Yeah.
I think Bosa's out for a while too. I don't think he's back this week.
Supposed to be.
Is that still a groin injury? I think both Bosa's had groin injuries.
Yeah. I mean, siblings, it might be in their bloodline. Who knows? But no, I'm interested to see how this week goes. I don't have a lot to say about the Chargers just because we play them twice a year. They know us like we know them.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a close game no matter what, because that's how they play us. They know how to play us well, and that's just how it goes.
And I think that we are going to adjust to what the first game looked like against them. I think we identified what we messed up on and where we need to be better at. So, and it's in a dome. So, I don't know. I think it'll be good.
Plus, we play great on the road.
Absolutely.
We play better on the road than we do at home. Yeah.
All right. Y'all got anything else about the Chargers?
Nah.
No, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's get into the game picks for this week. We're all like, it's just another division that we don't care about. I can't wait though.
Well, I do care. I don't want to discount that. I do care.
I care. I don't care about the Chargers.
Well, Jody, you shared this fun fact earlier that if we win this game, we pretty much have our division sealed, right? So.
Without even playing the Broncos, and we play them back to back. They have so many L's on their belt, they can't even dig themselves out of. I'm not going to troll them yet. I'll troll them when we play them in a couple of weeks. Yes, but let's get into the top. Did we pick 5 this week? I know we picked 4 last week. Let's get into the top 5 game picks of the week. First game: Titans at Packers, Thursday night football.
So I don't know why, but I'm going with the Packers. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. It's purely a gut feeling.
They literally cut a wide receiver and a running back.
I know. That's why I'm just like, this makes no sense that I'm choosing the Packers. But they also found maybe a new weapon in this Watson kid who got 3 touchdowns. Like, I'm sure everyone's trying to pick him up in your fantasy league. So if you suck, congratulations. You probably got a new wide receiver. But yeah, I don't know why, but I'm going Packers. I have no idea why.
I kind of want to go Titans. I'm just gonna go
Just to be controversial.
opposite here. Yeah, sure. It's one of
I
those.
don't have Shelly here to back me up. And
I know. I could easily. And P.S. Shout out to Shelly. She is homesick with her kid right now. And she couldn't be here with us tonight. So we do miss you, Shelly. I'm sorry you couldn't be here. We hope you can join us next week. So, but for this game, I kind of feel like the Titans could upset them.
Is it really an upset though? I don't think it's.
I don't really know.
I don't think it's
But
an
the
upset.
Titans have a
I don't
great
know who
defense.
I don't know who has the under. I
The
don't know.
Titans have a better record than the Packers.
It's
Yeah,
so
but
close.
it's Aaron
It could go
Rodgers
either
on
way.
Thursday Night Football. I'm going Packers because it's Aaron Rodgers on Thursday Night Football. And they need every win that they can get at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I'm
I'm going
desperate.
Go for it. I'll go Titans upset, but whatever.
Next game, Jets at Patriots, noon on Sunday.
So I'm going with the Jets. The Jets have had a few big wins this season. They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Packers, if you want to call that a big win. They beat the Bills. So they've got a better resume right now. And, you know, the last time these two teams played, it was October 30th, and the Patriots won 22-17. So, and it was at the Jets' home. So I don't know. I think the Jets have a lot of confidence right now. And I think they're going to go in and they're going to take care of business.
Who? Jets. Oh,
Yeah.
oh wait, who did you say?
Jets, sorry. my kids just got home.
You're like, shut up.
Like,
I can't
like
mute it because I'm on my phone because my internet's out. So.
It's okay.
Hold on.
She's like, abort. Who are you going with, Lexi?
I'm going to go Jets as well. I think for some reason they're kind of on a hot streak, and I think they're really determined to win this. And as much as I have faith in Bill Belichick, I kind of think the Jets will win this.
I'm going Patriots just because it's a home game. It's at noon. I want the Jets to lose another one. Yeah. So I'm going Patriots.
All right.
Next game. Interesting. Eagles at Colts. Noon on Sunday.
You know,
I can't believe
this
the Colts
might be
started.
more interesting than we think it's going to be.
Yeah. Who's the
I'm still going with
only
Eagles.
team they haven't played yet? Have they not played the Chargers?
Who?
The
What?
Colts. The Colts are about
No,
to
they haven't
sweep,
played them yet.
or they're getting ready to sweep the entire AFC West if nobody knew that.
Like,
Yeah.
what is that? Like, what is that?
Like, what is happening?
So weird.
But I'm leaning Eagles, but I don't think this is going to be like a blowout. I think the Colts might have a renewed sense of energy with all the crazy that's going on with
That's
them.
Saturday, undefeated. Woo! 1-0, baby.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
you know, yes, she's good now. She was excited, but she's good. My dog was barking. I apologize. But yeah, I'm going Eagles, but I think it's going to be a really close game. I would not be surprised if somehow the Colts came out with an upset.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go Eagles because I think they had that undefeated streak ripped away from them, and they're going to be fired up.
Yep.
But I am excited to see what the Colts become with Jeff Saturday. I mean,
Chaos.
I was listening to Pat McAfee today, and he's like, he had Jeff Saturday on his show yesterday, and it was a very interesting interview to listen to. I think they have something going for them, but I don't know that they can beat a team like the Eagles. If they do, then so be it. That's awesome. But yeah, I'm going to go Eagles on this.
I'm going Eagles as well, just because I think they're embarrassed from getting beat up on by the Commanders on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
So, yep, going Eagles. Next game, which is really interesting, Cowboys at Vikings, 3:25 in Minnesota.
So I know the
Minnesota.
Vikings, Minnesota. I know the Vikings just beat the Bills, but I don't think the Vikings are a good 8-1 team.
No.
So I'm going with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Wait, is it at Minnesota though?
Yes.
I
In
don't.
Minnesota. They haven't lost a game yet at home.
I don't think they're a good 8-1 team.
I'm going to go Minnesota. I have the faith in Kirko Chains, and let's go.
Right. I want the Vikings to lose, so I'm going Cowboys just because they need another L under their belt as well. They can go 8-2. That's fine. So I think the Cowboys are also embarrassed from their loss in Green Bay that they should have won because they were up 14 points. So with all of that being said, I'm going Cowboys this week. And then we got Monday Night Football, Niners at Cardinals. Is Kyler Murray playing this week?
I don't know. He's still listed as questionable, so I'm not sure.
Interesting.
I'm going with the 49ers, but the 49ers need to get Debo and Kittle more involved. So, definitely 49ers.
I think I'm going to go Niners as well. I think they're on a hot streak right now. I think they're determined to kind of be the leaders of that division. So
that division is crazy.
Yeah.
That division can go to anybody as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Niners too, just because if they want to win this division, they got to win on Monday. They got to win on Monday. So, yeah. All right. Well, we are getting ready to wrap up. So we got the Chargers this week. Chiefs, Chargers, Sunday Night Football, not under the lights. Who do you think wins? What's the score prediction?
I'm going Chiefs. And I know that's shocking. I know. And I think I'm going to go 28-17.
Oh.
Yeah. I think our defense steps up big.
I like that. I'm also going Chiefs, of course. Never betting against them, but I'm actually going to make it a little bit closer. I think it's going to be like 32-27 Chiefs.
32.
Because 30 what?
32.
Like, what's that?
Like, how do we get to 32 here? Hold on.
Well, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think the Chargers know how to play us pretty well, but I still think we'll pull out the W. So,
I'm going Chiefs as well. High-scoring game. I'm going 34-27. So funny. I was listening to CJ's podcast earlier that I can't remember the name of. So after
the Aftermath, Arrowhead Live. Yeah.
There you go. Because I'm like,
CJ.
he said 34-26, so I laughed because we were a number off. But yeah, I'm going 34-27 Chiefs, and yeah, gonna be 9-2 after this week. Hopefully.
Yes, ma'am. And we have a chance to take the division after this one, so I hope we do that. Real quick before we wrap up, I do want to give a shout out to Corey Jones from Chiefs Twitter. He's the artist chief on Twitter, at CoreyO4. He gave me these awesome prints behind me that you're seeing.
Super talented.
He's really talented, and keep your eyes and ears peeled for our giveaway coming up in a few weeks, because we're going to include some of his prints in that and a few other exciting things. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to him.
Well, you guys, as most of you guys know, I finally got to attend another game at Arrowhead. I haven't been in a really long time. Got to meet Jody, and we had so much fun. I got to meet Chris Pearson. So if you guys ever get a chance to meet him, super, super nice guy, great Chiefs fan. So shout out to Chris. But as always, we appreciate you guys joining us each and every week as we discuss all the crazy in the NFL, as well as our Chiefs that we love so much. Make sure you subscribe to our Twitter page so that you can find out everywhere you can watch us: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Apple, Spotify.
As well. Follow our names as well.
Yes, and follow each of us individually, because we are always interacting with each other on Twitter.
We're spicy this week too.
Oh, we are spicy this
We're
week.
at the top. I
We're
was
fun.
spicy today.
We're taking no prisoners this week. It is we are the top of the AFC period, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's right.
We're
so as we said, the Chiefs are the current number 1 seed and in the AFC, and the AFC West, as we said, could basically be decided by this weekend. It's not foolproof, but it is basically, we should be decided by this weekend as long as we can win this game, which is insane because it's week 11. So for those traveling to Arrowhead West, be safe. Yeah, yes. Traveling to AFC or to the Arrowhead West, be safe, enjoy the game, and as always, represent Chiefs Kingdom well. And until next time, the Queens have spoken.
Bye, y'all.